Hello, everyone. I'm Milica, and I'm assistant professor at University of Novi Sad, Faculty of Sciences, Department of Geography, Tourism, and Hotel Management, and I'm a part of Social Geography chair. Today, I will give you some longer version of my VM grant presentation. You had the opportunity to see some smaller version during our last MC meeting 3 weeks ago. But today I will give you more details and will show you some results and outcomes of my presentation and my research, named An Invisible Friend, Calming Smart Services for the Elderly. The main objective of my VM was to develop a new research proposal and actually to examine the preferences of the elderly about calm technology, and not only calm technology, but also calm design of smart services as an emerging concept within age-friendly environment. The use of many ICTs could negatively affect the experience of service delivery. The most common shortcomings from users' perspective refer to the need to use multiple devices, information overload, and techno-stress, technophobia, of course, some difficulties in using technologies among some groups and categories of people, especially the elderly. And here the concept of calm ICT design comes to play, as it promotes an interaction with technology that requires the least mental resources from a user, which means that definitely it could be a perfect fit for the elderly when interacting with smart services, promoting their overall and, of course, digital well-being. My working plan was divided into 6 stages, concluded with final output proposed and developed calm smart service attractiveness scale for the elderly, named CASAS. The pilot research was conducted in Serbia, and after that amongst all action members to collect diverse and definitely some different results and outcomes. One of the main theoretical and practical research tasks was to define specific questions for each of the 8 main principles concerning calm technology and smart services. All principles are shown on this slide, and all principles are implemented in research instrument as very important and actually as a starting point for testing the model and testing the scale. Calmness is here defined as a user-centric measure that describes how a system appears to the user. Actually, it is a user experience. When a system is calm, it does not unnecessarily interfere with the users, but quietly supports them by providing the required services exactly when and where needed, which is very important for this topic. Calmness is tested through 2 main components, calm timing and calm interaction. Calm timing means that the application interacts with the user in the right situation, and it is defined by 2 features, availability and context-sensitive timing. Calm interaction, on the other hand, is defined as interaction fitting into a situation, and it is also defined by 2 features, relevancy of interaction and courtesy of interaction. However, the implementation producing the highest courtesy value depends on the user and the usage context. For example, a young user accustomed to modern technology probably experiences different things to be distracting than an elderly user who never has mastered that technology. Also, interaction methods that are not distracting in a home environment might be distracting in a public space, such as library, park, or concert hall. Although the interaction criteria in the definition for calmness share components with the classic definition of usability, their emphasis is different. Usability is typically described as the efficiency with which users can achieve their goals using the application and related technology, whereas calmness is defined as assisting users in performing their normal tasks without requiring them to concentrate on the program or technology. Based on the theoretical research and the theoretical approach, we created a main research instrument for our evaluation framework. Actually, we created a questionnaire through Google Forms based on an usage scenario. Actually, usage context of the smart mobile application for communal services, such as garbage collection, water and electricity supply, works on the infrastructure network, reporting on damage, price change, and so on. And respondents, people aged 65 plus, started from the assumption that the application is developed and offered by their local communal service operator to provide 24-hour service and, of course, assistance. Our questionnaire includes three main segments. First segment is related to some standard socio-demographic characteristics such as gender, age, country of residence, place of residence, and so on. And also we included some questions and statements related to intergenerational connections and solidarity, and some intergenerational relations within households of respondents. The second segment of our questionnaire was related to using of technology, especially selected devices such as smartphone, tablet, and laptop, and evaluation of their skills of using the mentioned devices. And the other part was related to using the social media and specifying which ones. And probably the most important segmented part of research was the third part of questionnaire, dimensions of calmness. Actually, 15 statements related to applications such as technical characteristics, amount of attention, interaction, engagement, and so on, measured on a 5-point scale from unimportant to very important. We did some statistical analysis. First of all, exploratory factor analysis for developing a scale, and of course some additional statistical analysis such as ANOVA and t-test. We started, of course, from descriptive statistics. And descriptive statistics on whole example, including 187 respondents, showed that a significantly higher share of respondents was female, as well as a slightly higher share of respondents from rural settlements, which is a result of a higher share of respondents from Serbia, of course. The average age is 71. The great majority of respondents are retired, and more than half are highly educated. Over half of the respondents live alone or with one more person, most often a person who is also older than 65. About half of the respondents communicate very often or even always with those under 20. And the most commonly used smart device is a smartphone. Respondents believe that their skills are around average. The most commonly used social network is, of course, Facebook, followed by Instagram. Exploratory factor analysis, EFA, was performed on data sets of 70 respondents that were randomly selected, measuring latent variable calm design factors. The results of EFA, principal component analysis, with Verimax rotation, factor loadings and TMO are presented in this table on this slide. Kaiser-Meyer-Olkin measure yielded 0.694 and Bartlett test of sphericity was 317.249 with P which is lower than 0.00, showing high significance, so further factor analysis was definitely appropriate. 3 factors were extracted, explaining at least 56% of the total variance. Reliability coefficient Cronbach alpha of all relevant variables in the rotated factor matrix ranged from 0.716 to 0.815, which is above 0.7 threshold. According to the factor loading scores for each item, the 3 components are interpreted as 3 different calm design factors within anticipated usage scenario of SMART app, which are also shown in this table: application usability and default characteristics, availability and attention, and third factor, engaging and non-engaging context. The contribution definitely of this, and sorry, we also do some additional statistical analysis, but independent samples t-test showed that there is no statistical significance between some categories, such as gender or type of settlements and so on. But ANOVA post hoc LSD test, which we use for some similarities and differences by categories, shows some differences by completed level of education and within first group of factors, application usability and default characteristics. Further analysis definitely should include the latent factors measurement model, and it will be estimated to check validity and reliability of CASAs using confirmatory factorial analysis, CFA, on a bigger example. And results will be published through research paper and shared through online communication platforms. Definitely, this is a completely interdisciplinary approach. So our team is interdisciplinary, and our team includes my colleagues from University of Novi Sad, and further analysis and further steps will include them also, but also Karina Dantas as the chair of the cost action at For Age Friendly. She did some great work definitely before this presentation, and definitely as VG3 leader Kenneth Bone, he will be included in the further analysis of this research. The contribution of such research is strongly related to the main objective of our cost action, and specifically related to challenging how is ICT developed and integrated within the World Health Organization domains of outdoor places and buildings, housing, transportation, social participation, respect and social inclusion, civic participation and employment, communication, and so on. Considering that in many parts of the world, the elderly are the most important human resource and demographic potential, this can be a good starting point for creating innovative but also sustainable local, regional, and the national strategies and action plans. The calm design might have several benefits when applied in the context of smart services. This is the technology that we could call calm friendly. For public service providers, this knowledge can be beneficial for understanding the shortcomings of unselective ICT employment in service delivery to citizens. Also, this could lead to the development of new services that will respect different age groups' needs. At the same time, existing services can be redesigned in respect of calm design principles. And of course, calm technology could represent a new branding approach that goes in line with novel technology trends and constantly changing and evolving citizens' expectation and lifestyles that strives for digital well-being. The elderly definitely could and should feel that technology should act as their invisible friend in everyday life and in situations that directly affect their lives. So we developed and created our scale named CASAS, and we will continue to confirming the scale, and definitely we will continue testing the scale, testing the parameters, and further analysis will be more and more detailed. So if you have any proposals, questions, suggestions, remarks, and do not hesitate to contact me through my email address or some platforms such as Slack, LinkedIn, or whatever you want. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for the listening, and definitely keep calm and enjoy the technology.